it starts with this. Right at the top is a summary from David Costin. A vaccine is a more important development for the economy and markets than the prospective policies of a Biden presidency. The much-awaited results of the Pfizer vaccine is a positive event that will allow society to gradually normalize during 2021. So then he goes into talking about the election and those policies. But the first thing he says is that was even more important. Do you view it that way, the news from earlier this week?
I do. I think the vaccine for the virus and control of the pandemic is the most important thing to stock performance, but not just over the next year, but over the next 2 years. And I think further in the report, they did talk a lot about this being over a 2-year time period. I think that the timing is a little bit elusive, though, on when we will get the vaccine. Two of the major assumptions that I would beg to differ with a little bit is that the vaccine will be available and distributed to the U.S. in the first half of 2021. I think it's going to take really all the way into the first half of 2022. And that's going to have a big impact. And I also think that they did not talk very much about whether or not we would get any contribution from fiscal stimulus. And I think that's going to be a major determinant on how quickly we normalize back to economic activity pre-pandemic.
There's some big assumptions here. Like I said, there's the assumption that that first line will allow society to gradually normalize during 2021. And then Costin does go into the elections. We just said elections have consequences. And he says a divided government means little scope for any major legislative changes. He notes that there is a runoff in both Senate elections in Georgia, but still seems to come down on the side that divided government is more likely than a unified government, for lack of a better term. What do you think of that? Yeah, what do you think of that?
Well, I think that's probably correct. And I think the most important thing to market performance is going to be the January 5th runoff. Georgia is going to be on everybody's mind because if, in fact, the Democrats win both seats, there's going to be an ability to create a much larger stimulus package. And if it's a split Senate, Mitch McConnell's already saying basically that he's not sure that fiscal stimulus is necessary in a large fashion. Even the Federal Reserve still says that's a very important factor. And my concern really is, even with a large infrastructure package, it takes a while for that to trickle down to the most needed participants. And you do still have counties and local jurisdictions beginning to tighten up restrictions because COVID has been increasing. And all of that's going to tap down economic activity. Okay. So net, I think Goldman's call is a good one. But I think it's a little bit more over the 2-year time period than just over the first half of 2021.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.